When you're looking for KitchenAid innovation and quality, who has the answers, the selection, the price? Ventura TV Appliance. With billions in nationwide appliance buying power, more than Home Depot and Best Buy combined, will help you save. Our low prices on Energy Star qualified KitchenAid appliances save you energy and money, and pay no interest on select models when paid in full within 12 months. Ventura TV Appliance, serving you since 1951.
The Justice Network is here. If you haven't tuned in, you're missing a great lineup of gripping stories of real crime, plus an unprecedented effort by viewers like you to play an active role in making your community safer. You can help support law enforcement by providing information that may lead to the apprehension of dangerous criminals or find a missing child. Great shows and your chance to fight crime, only on the Justice Network.
Hi, I'm John Mallos. Welcome to this live edition of Connect with me on the showroom floor at Ventura TV on this day. Today, the focus on business. And did you know that there are a lot of women now buying new cars? In fact, the numbers are up. We'll have the general manager of Fresno Lexus in the building today. 436-ME-TV, option 11. Back in just a moment. And we're back here on the program on a Tuesday morning, and focus, of course, is on business. We'll get to that business in just a moment, but just a couple of programming notes here. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about Honor Flight and the flight that's going to be taking place or flying out of Castle Air Base in Atwater. That'll take place later on this year. Of course, we'll have two World War II veterans in here tomorrow to talk about that, plus the director of Honor Flight up there in Atwater at Castle Air Base, Larry McFarland. He'll be here as well. Then on Thursday, we'll have another special guest, World War II related, the sub-vets. We'll talk about that. And of course, Friday is 9/11. Dan Payne, our terrorism expert, will be in the building to talk about what's transpired the last decade or so since 9/11. It's been more than a decade now, as we all know. And what is the biggest threat as far as terrorism is concerned here, not only in the Central Valley, but in California, but all over this country. So, as usual, you are watching us on Comcast 375 each and every Monday through Friday. And of course, if you have over-the-air broadcast TV, it's 43.6 or 13.1. And then later in the day, the replay comes at 2 o'clock and at 8 o'clock at night. And then we have the Twitter account at John Mallos, Me TV. So, anyway, moving on with the show now. As we all know, staying in business these days is not a very easy task. You have to stay ahead of the curve and be creative. How do you be creative? How do you stay ahead of the curve and attract those new customers? Let's roll the videotape, my friends, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. More and more businesses across California and the nation are trying to attract or target women. They are looking for new ways to woo them through the door so they can spend their hard-earned money. It is risky business. Well, that's a matter of opinion, but that risk is easier for some Valley businesses right here in the Central Valley. But at Fresno Lexus, the management is going out of its way to appeal to those female shoppers. Even though auto sales has traditionally been geared towards men, the general manager at Fresno Lexus says there is an untapped market for female buyers. Yes, in fact, Fresno Lexus is only one of 9 Lexus dealerships around the nation taking part in a pilot program where they're trying to focus on those women buyers. They want those female buyers to feel welcome. They want them to feel comfortable shopping inside the dealership because, as you know, it can be an overwhelming experience to buy a new car, a used car, doesn't matter, man or woman. Nonetheless, women are making an impact, accounting for 49% of all new Lexus buyers here at the Fresno lot, and in the coming years, that number is expected to increase by leaps and bounds. And listen to this, my friends. According to a Nielsen report, this was in the Fresno Business Journal, we talked about this on the show before, women now account for 68% of all new cars and account for about 85% of all consumer purchases. And in 10 years, that report predicts that the women will hold about 66% of all consumer wealth in the nation. That is a huge shift, my friends. Huge. I mean, really huge. Live in our studio right now is Caren Myers, the general manager of Fresno Lexus, who brings with her 50-plus years in the automotive industry. She started by answering the telephone at a Ford dealership in Northern California. 50 years later, she's the GM here in Fresno. Amazing route to success, my friends. 436-ME-TV, option 11. If you're in the market for buying a new car, doesn't have to be Fresno Lexus. It can be anywhere. Are you a female looking for a car? Are you a new car buyer looking to get rid of your car? Call in today, get some advice from our general manager here. Back with our program in just a moment.
It's Sully and Russ on the Big Biz Show.
It's your biz.
And maybe they'll start listening to Baldwin
Now,
McCullough.
before you make any money moves, check in with the Brain Trust.
And you are starting your week off right.
Biz TV is now on KBHF channel 4.6.
The new Frigidaire Professional line at Ventura TV Video Appliance. Enjoy generous-sized cooktops and sauté or simmer with ease, while true convection ovens offer even baking and juicy roasting perfection. Foods stay their freshest in spacious refrigerators with convenient controls and clear filtered ice and water. Easy to clean surfaces reduce fingerprints, and the quietest of dishwashers makes cleanup a snap. The new Frigidaire Professional line at Ventura TV Video Appliance.
So we're back here on the program and appealing to those women customers. Caren Myers is here. She's the general manager of Fresno Lexus. First time guest here on Connect with Me. How are you, Caren?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for having me. This is just a true opportunity, and I'm really pleased. Thank you.
Hey, no problem. 436-ME-TV, option 11. You also have the email address if you want to email us a question or a comment about today's program. Hey, or any program, not only a comment, if you've got a complaint. We take complaints, we listen to them, we read the emails. Getting to my monologue, Caren, I want to ask you about these female buyers. Why is your dealership specifically, and many more dealerships around California, targeting women?
Well, first of all, we are recognizing that women really are making decisions. 85% of the buying decisions are made by women. And so it's about time that we focused on them. We've had a web page on our website that is specifically for women. So it gives women an opportunity to look and feel more comfortable when they shop, because thinking back over the years, women didn't often make those kinds of decisions. So this has been something that has come along as women have become more professional. They're out in the world more, and they're not as many homemakers as there used to be. So now we're seeing them in the dealerships bringing cars in for service as well as purchasing them.
All right, but haven't women been making decisions for years in the household? I mean, whether they're working or not, they've been in the workforce for so many decades now. Why now the focus on women? I mean, why wasn't the focus on women 20 years ago, 30 years ago? I mean, they were in the workplace then as they are now.
I understand. They were really behind the scenes. Thinking back, having been in this business for 50 years, when I think back into the 70s, I didn't see very many women coming into the car dealerships. Women played a different role. I believe that as women have changed their role model, so we need to change our model for doing business. So we've, particularly at Fresno Lexus, we were one of 9 pilot dealerships across the United States for Lexus that really focused on training our employees. Years ago in the car business, a woman was barely spoken to by a car salesman. Today, our salespeople, our service people know that it's important to shake their hands and ask them what they want as well.
But you're talking about years ago that happened. I mean, you're talking about years ago, you know, women would come in and they would barely talk to them, or maybe they would ignore them, or maybe try to take advantage of them even. But that was so long ago. We live in a different world today. So what is it that you specifically do to target women? How do you do that? How do you develop a business plan that says, hey, I'm going to target women. I want to focus on business in terms of attracting these women to come in here. How do you do that?
Well,
and what do you focus on?
We've actually run some commercials on one of the local radio stations that was just for women. So you have to reach out and let them know that they're welcome in our dealership. We've also, in our training, we've also made our dealership a little more women friendly.
How so?
Well, for example, I'm a sports nut. So 5 months ago, if you came into our room where our guests wait, you would have seen all kinds of sports magazines, all kinds of things like that, because that's kind of me. What I really learned from some of this training was they'd like to see better housekeeping, they'd like to see shape, they'd like to see some of the other glamour, some of the other magazines. So we've revamped our waiting area. We've also done things in our ladies' room like lovely flowers, music, so that it has more of a spa feel. We really have targeted things like that make a difference. In our boutique, we have a line of women's sportswear, things that women are attracted to. We have a lot of bling merchandise, which is hot right now for women. So we do pay attention to women, and we know that they like to build a relationship. We know they like to listen, like for us to listen to them. So we're doing things that make it feel more women friendly.
So when women now, they come into the dealership, who are they asking for? What are they asking for? And what do they want? And do they have money?
They absolutely have money. And
where are they? Send them my way.
They do have money. And they are also, some of them, I just had a phone call on Thursday. She had seen our web page, and she wanted to make sure that when she came in that she could ask for me because she wanted a woman salesperson to work with.
Okay.
She felt more comfortable. So we do have 3 women salespeople on our staff.
Okay.
And that's important. And when they come into our service drive, although right now all of our service consultants are male, we do have a couple of women greeters that are out there as well to offer coffee, kind of settle them in before they get ready to talk to a consultant.
What are these women looking for? What do they want when they come in? What are they seeking?
They're looking for someone who's willing to pay attention to what they want. They want someone to listen to them. They want to get to know that person. They want to build a long-term relationship with them, definitely in the service drive. They want to feel comfortable every time they come in, to know that the service consultant is talking to them and telling them about what they need on their car so they can make that decision. Years ago, women used to call their husbands before they decided if they would get the additional work done on their car. They don't call their husbands anymore. They say yes.
Yeah, but what are they looking for specifically when they come in? Say when they're looking for a car, what do they want? Do they and not only what do they want, what are they looking for, but do they know about the cars?
Very much so. Most of the shoppers today have spent at least probably 5 to 7 hours on shopping online. So most women today, whether they're looking for a sports car or whether they're looking for an SUV, they know a lot about that car, whether it's the first-time buyer for a Lexus or if they've driven another make or brand. They know what they want. They want safety. That's very important to women.
Yeah.
They want room. Women like quiet. They like a quiet ride. So when they come in, those are questions they'll ask, like how much space is in the trunk or how much space is in the rear area of the SUV. That's important to them because they maybe are hauling soccer balls, they're hauling baseball bat carriers. There's an amazing amount of things that go. Their dogs. We have several customers who want to make sure that the dog can get in and out of their cars easily. Women care about those kinds of things. Men come in and buy a car either because they love the looks of it, the sound of it, the drivability. Women take it up another notch.
And so women are buying cars because of what? What are they looking for in terms of versus men?
They're looking for safety. They're paying attention to
They're
those
looking for
kinds
the
of
size
things.
of the trunk.
Size of the trunk, all kinds of features that are important to them. How easy it is to get the car seats in and out, especially
Yeah.
if it's a young couple.
Yeah, especially, well, and if they got kids or grandkids.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, they want to haul their grandkids around, or they got some big pooch they want to throw in the back there. That,
My pooch has to be able to get in and out.
Yeah. I mean, some of these dogs are very large, so you got to have a lot of space in there. But yeah, I mean, that's important to have a lot. And if you go on and say a weekend getaway trip, women probably want a large space they can put their luggage.
They do.
Am I right about that?
Luggage, golf clubs, those are the two one things that they ask for.
Yeah.
Will it handle both 2 sets of golf clubs and our luggage if we're going away?
Yeah.
So-
Women don't care about that kind of stuff. Oh, well, just, you know, the trunk is what it is. But the women, they're looking at that.
Right. The other
Yeah.
morning we were looking at the back in the trunk space on an ES, and it was a hybrid, and
Okay.
the lady was a golfer, and so I was talking to her about golf, and she said, "This looks a little smaller than mine." And I said, "Well, the difference is, of course, that yours is a gas and this
Yeah.
one is a hybrid, so there's a little less space." She said, "I'm going to have to get those golf clubs out and see if they'll fit."
Yeah. Hey, so are you emphasizing less on attracting men?
Oh, not at all.
Can't talk
Not
about
at all.
that.
We
I'm
love
gonna
our
ask
men
you about
buyers.
that. Hang on. I got a call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm listening to the lady there, and by all means, she's pretty much on the head there when it comes to what women like, and that is that they like a lot of cosmetic stuff. They like, you know, like you say, does it look good, and do I feel good in it, and then, you know, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but having a
But then they don't realize that, like, oh, I want to get that Mercedes, you know, because it's such a great ride. And it's like, but wait a minute now, when you have to change the brakes on it or have the, you know, that's going to be $800, you know. Whereas on a Camry, it would only cost like $200. On a high end car, high maintenance car, it's going to be $800. I know my wife bought one, and it was like, you know, holy cow, you know, that's almost a house payment, you know, just to have the brakes changed on it, you know. Another thing was, you know, you have to have it, you know, every 5,000 miles have the transmission fluid changed and everything. Well, that's another $1,200 in expense, you know. Whereas, you know, if you would have had that done to a Toyota, it was only like about maybe $150, you know. So, I mean, I think women don't realize that although these are great cars and they're you know, BMWs, Audis, Mercedes, they're great rides, but they're also extremely expensive to maintain and keep at that high level.
Yeah, good point.
It is. It is.
You can go ahead and comment on that if you want.
Actually, women
It
are.
is costly to maintain a car like a Lexus, a Beamer, a Mercedes. They look nice. You pay the money. You pay for what you know. You get what you pay for, but you also have to realize that it is costly to maintain.
It is, and some of the things that women in particular like is they like to purchase maintenance programs, and especially also younger women and younger men for that matter. Being able to purchase a maintenance package when you buy your car is very in, and it works fine because it's already in their payment. So then they're not actually making another large expenditure. They've factored it in.
I want to get into that more on that conversation about the maintenance package and what it costs to maintain some of these cars. We have a lot of video to talk about and go through. 436-MeTV option 11. Caren Myers is here. She is the general manager for Fresno Lexus. She's been there, what, 10 years? 10 years already?
10 years.
Wow, since 2005. Time flies when you're having fun. We're back with our program here on Connect with Me on MeTV Fresno in just a moment.
You can watch Dr. TV on over-the-air channel 13.9.
When you're looking for KitchenAid innovation and quality, who has the answers, the selection, the price? Ventura TV Appliance. With billions in nationwide appliance buying power, more than Home Depot and Best Buy combined, will help you save. Our low prices on Energy Star qualified KitchenAid appliances save you energy and money, and pay no interest on select models when paid in full within 12 months. Ventura TV Appliance, serving you since 1951.
We're back here on the program talking with Caren Myers, the GM for Fresno Lexus. It's been out there on Palm for how many years at the current location?
At the current location, we started December 5th of 2005, so we'll be celebrating our 10th anniversary this December.
Right, almost right when you got there.
Yes, I came here and helped finish the building of the building and opened it.
It's more visible out there, I guess, huh? You're seen by many more people. Am I assuming?
Yes, the traffic count is huge on Herndon. Plus, it's a new facility, and it's like any other time when you move from something that's been there for the last 10 plus years, and you move to a new facility with all of the new technology out in the service department. It does make a difference. Yes.
Hey, I want to go into the indoor showroom and show our viewers the indoor showroom for Fresno Lexus, and coming up here in just a moment, and there it is right there. And so you're talking about the maintenance programs. This is your showroom floor. Talk a little bit about, what people are going to see when they walk in the showroom here. How many cars do you have on display, for example?
Well, we have 4 new cars on display. Our showroom is set up so that we always keep a certified pre-owned car on our showroom as well, so that we can let people see how nice our certified pre-owned cars are.
Yeah.
So, and then we have another area where there's usually a couple of cars that we do deliveries on, so that in our inclement weather, whether it's hot or cold, we can deliver inside.
Caller, go ahead. You're on the air.
Good morning, John. Good morning. And Caren, is it Caren?
It's Caren.
Caren.
Caren. Okay, still Caren. Okay, Caren, here's a big one for the day. A couple of questions.
There we go.
When a man or a woman come in and they want to test drive one of your automobiles, do you ask for their driver's license? And if you do, I'm assuming it's for a background check. And is that true?
Okay, we do ask for your driver's license and your insurance card. It is not for a background check. It is just simply an insurance. Our insurance company requires that we do that. And it lets us know, first of all, that you can drive the car, that you do have a valid driver's license, because I have had someone come in and suddenly realize but they realize their driver's license isn't current. So because they just forgot.
Yeah.
And we can't let them drive their car without that. And of course, you have to have insurance to drive our car. So, but we definitely do not, by allowing us to do that, we definitely do not do a background check.
Yeah, so do you have a salesperson go out with them, with the car?
Yes.
They can't go out alone?
No. That's an insurance issue. It's been that way in the industry for as long as I've been there. Now, we can put them on a borrowed car agreement, which after we've maybe done the test drive, we've possibly talked a little bit about
borrowed car agreement. I don't understand that.
Okay.
I've never heard of that.
Well, a borrowed car agreement is you can take the car out and drive it on our dealer plate. There's really very few times when a customer can drive a car on a dealer plate. And so we...
Well, how can I arrange that, let's say?
Well, if you'd like to drive one of our Lexuses, I will just do a borrowed car agreement, and I'll let you take the car for the day.
Just for the day?
Well, you can take it for 3 hours.
No, but what papers do you have to sign? What do you have to show?
It is actually a borrowed car agreement, and
Is it like a rental car?
Well, it's not a rental car. It's it could be the car that you're going to buy. So...
But you have to give all the same information as if you were getting a rental car, right?
Just your driver's license and your insurance card. So pretty much so. I'm going to have your address, and we will
give me your address, because I'm going to hunt you down if you steal the car. Right?
Right.
Yeah,
but
I've
it's
never
usually...
heard of that. Do most car dealerships do that borrowed car agreement?
Most of them will do that, yes.
Really?
Yes. Very much so. It's something, it's not new. It's been in practice for the 50 years.
A long time?
For the 50 years I've been in the business, yes.
You know, you're a popular guest. You've got another call coming.
Wow, I'm excited.
Caller, go ahead. You're on the air. Caller, go ahead.
Yeah, a direct question to Caren. Are most people that drive those luxurious cars in the range of 50 and above? Because I see a lot of people, I mean, you know, in that age, driving these nice BMW, Lexus, and whatnot. I see a few young people, you know, because of the wives. You know, the wives are the ones who are really looking for that nice-looking car. You know, the guys do too. You know, I think the women are more able to keep everything going. You know, because they look for the beauty and this and that. But do you see that a lot of the cars that are being sold in that, you know, range of BMWs and whatnot are in the 50 range, you know, because I do see a lot of them on the road. That's really what I wanted to ask.
Well, first of all, our target market is males, and interestingly enough, between the ages of 25 and 57. However,
really, that's your target market?
That's the target market for a Lexus.
Well, at the same time, you're trying to target women?
Well, we were convincing our brand to switch over. Okay, but that is our target
25
market. 25 to 57. However, what you will find is there's a lot of the new millennials that are looking at the IS. It's kind of by model, sir. So what happens is our CT, our IS, are typically bought by probably people under 40. And that has a little bit to do with both price as well as the kind of car that it is. They're looking for something sportier, something that has a little more horsepower, and you get to the more luxury cars. And now you're going to get to the people that are over 50.
All right, I want to talk about the maintenance program, and I do want to play another piece of videotape. Let's go with the let's go with the full-size SUV, for example. I just want to talk about just, the SUVs, maybe the regular sedans. Here are some of the SUVs that you guys sell out there on the lots. But the maintenance program, as we talk about this and look at this video, you can purchase a maintenance program for how much and for how long a period of time does that cover?
Maintenance programs can be, they're tailored. So if you're driving 10,000 miles a year, we might do, and you want to pay your car off in 5 years. So we would tailor one that would give you that many miles of maintenance, say
what does it
50,000 miles. Maintenance programs will run around to $2,500, but you're going to spread that out over that period of time. So that's done often in the marketplace.
And so does that mean the maintenance program you come in, you get a free oil, not a free oil change, but you don't have to pay extra for an oil change,
right?
Or transmission fluid, or whatever else may go out in the car.
It's specifically, it matches the brand, our Lexus maintenance plan that Lexus has set up. So there's oftentimes other things that you can do, but typically it will cover every single one of your maintenance scheduled maintenance needs during the time that you have purchased it for. Now, a lot of our cars,
it could be for 50,000 or 5 years or something like that.
It could be. It's more apt to be. Maintenance programs are more apt to be purchased with leases. So that means that they're really about 3 years or 36,000 miles. So literally, because people who are leasing cars are usually putting them into their businesses or writing them off. And you can put the expense of your maintenance all into that as well. So it's easy.
So when I come in to get my oil change, I don't have to pay out of pocket.
That's right.
Because it's already paid for in the maintenance program.
Yes.
And if I need to come in and do a transmission change, okay, it's covered under that program.
If it's in that program. Now, if you get to a certain kind of maintenance or something extra that you want to do, a power steering flush, that's not a standard maintenance part of the maintenance program. So then you can do that. You can do some other things to your car if you're going to keep it a long time. People tend to do basic maintenances when they're on a lease.
All right, now let me ask you a hardball question here. Okay, as the general manager of Fresno Lexus, do you have to know these cars inside out? In other words, do you know what's under the hood, and could you fix it if need be?
Absolutely couldn't fix it. Do I know what's under the hood? Somewhat, but that's why I have a service manager. So
but you don't have to know the car.
I don't have to know all of it, but it does help that I know a lot of extra things, and I've learned a lot over the years about how it should perform. Question they asked the other day: why is my car pulling to the right? Well, I happen to know that.
The
toe is actually towed to the right for safety. So
it's towed to the right.
It's called towing.
So your wheel alignment
will be slightly ever so slightly towed to the right.
Because why?
Because if you begin to drift on the road, you want to always drift to the right because that's safer. It's off the curve of the road. So it's just automatic. It's a safety issue.
Right.
Now, you and I won't notice that we can take our hands off the wheel and the car's going to go straight. But if you did it long enough, it would just kind of move a little right.
Start veering a little bit.
Right.
A little bit.
And
okay,
that's a
so you
safety.
don't have to know the car from bumper to bumper.
No.
But what do you have to know as a general manager?
Well, you have
Finances,
to know. You have to know people. You have to know finances. It's as important to take care. It's very, very important to take care of our customers. It's also very, very important to build a strong team in our dealership, because those are the people that do take care of our customers. So
you have to know how to do all that.
I do.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Fair question, fair answer. Caren Myers, General Manager of Fresno Lexus, is here to answer your questions. 436-ME-TV, option 11. Back in just a moment.
You can find movies on over-the-air channel 13.3. Movies. Our name says it all.
All right, back here on the program, talking Lexus, talking cars, talking women. Let's roll the videotape, my friends, and talk about the row of Lexus sedans on the lot at Fresno Lexus, of course, and talk more about these cars here. You know, I had somebody once tell me, because I was at one time thinking about, well, maybe I wonder if I should buy a Lexus. Let me look into Lexus. This is a comment that somebody say, oh, look, those are just high-end Toyotas. They're made by Toyota. High-end Toyota. Just get a Toyota, because these are too high-end.
Well,
you're smiling. You're almost laughing.
I have heard that before, and I can tell you they're not made in the same plant.
Okay.
They're not. They often do have. We'll have someone come in and say, "Oh, well, I think it has the same chassis as this." Well, it might. It might have a similar one, but the paint is different. The people who work on them are different. All of the upholstery, everything that goes into a Lexus is Lexus. It's not Toyota. It doesn't sound like a Toyota. It doesn't drive like a Toyota. But Toyota does make the car as the manufacturer. But they don't make them in the same plants. And so the cars are not, although Toyota's a wonderful car and a wonderful brand, it's not a Lexus.
Well, what separates the two? What makes Lexus a step above?
How it's manufactured. The fact that it's manufactured in its own plant, the fact that it's manufactured by different trained people, and it has a whole different set of horsepowers, drivability, quietness, just different products that go into building that Lexus. So it's a totally different car.
I want to roll the videotape. Sports sedans and sticker prices. Okay. Name me the models of a Lexus. How many different models? I know you have sedans, you have SUVs. So, give me some names.
So we'll start. Our CT is a hybrid, and
what is that, like a Prius?
It's it would be, yes. It's different in size. A Prius is larger, interestingly, and operates a bit differently, but it would be that kind of a car. It's a hybrid that gets about 40 miles to the gallon. Stepping up from that, we have our IS model, and this year we have a brand new IS 200T with 40 more horsepower, so it's turbocharged, and it comes in different horsepowers as well. Now that's a little sportier, still a sedan. ES is always been our entry level to luxury, and it comes as a hybrid, and as a gasoline-powered car as well. And that car is about the same size as the original LS.
What are we looking at here in this video? You can look right over here. Much easier.
Thank you. Let's see. That is you're looking at a different, they're not all the same model. So as you go along, look at the rear window and see how the rear window comes down closer. If it's more pointed, it's an IS. As it gets a little more rounded, it becomes an ES, then a GS, which is the next model up. It has both sporty, different drive. GS is our sporty luxury sedan.
What are you talking about in terms of price? What's your lowest price car?
Lowest price car would be our CT, and that's
Starts
in the
at?
about 32,000.
Okay.
And you're going to go up from there. That is our least expensive.
Your highest price is
Our
what?
highest price would be our LX, and we're going to get just in under 100,000.
Holy cow.
Now one other
Anybody
one.
buying those?
Absolutely.
Women?
Yes, women.
They're coming in and buying a $100,000 car?
Yes, sir. They're either buying it or leasing it.
I paid $100,000 for my first house. I don't know when it was, like in the Stone Age.
That was a while back.
In the Stone Age, yeah. 100. So women are actually coming in,
absolutely,
forking over the money, driving off the lot with a $100,000 car.
Yes, sir. Yes,
wow.
sir, they are.
Are you stunned by that?
No, I'm not stunned by it. Women make that kind of money today.
Yeah.
They're in jobs that allow them to do that. And most of the people, quite frankly, who are buying LX or GX, our two largest SUVs, they're usually farmers, or they're people that have kids and places to go, and they need the room.
Yeah.
They need the room.
Wow. So you'll have to introduce me to some of these women buyers if you're talking that kind of money. That's amazing. I do want to put the disclaimer up. You're laughing. We're just joking around, having some fun here. And so Caren Myers is our guest today. She is the general manager of Fresno Lexus. She's been here now for about 35 minutes. Got a ways to go until 11 o'clock. So you're welcome to call in at 436-ME-TV option 11. But just want to let you know that the Focus on Business is most every Tuesday. For the most part here on Connect With Me, we try to focus on a local business. It's been around for a long time because we here at Ventura TV have been here since 1951. We are successful and hope that we can help some other business along the way to give a helping hand. So Caren came in of her own free will. She's not being paid, and we're not paying her at all. Although she's going to loan me a car for the day. How about that? 436-ME-TV, option 11. We're back with our guest and your phone calls, 436-ME-TV, option 11.
It's Sally and Russ on the Big Biz Show.
It's your biz.
And maybe they'll start listening to Baldwin
Now,
McCullough.
before you make any money moves, check in with the Brain Trust.
And you are starting your week off right.
Biz TV is now on KDHF channel 4.6.
Hello, I'm John Walsh. We need your help to capture this fugitive. Francisco Molina Nieve has been on the run since March 2008. The police and the FBI need your help tracking this coward down. He's wanted for brutally beating his girlfriend and for the use of a firearm. He has 3 freckles and a crescent shape under his right eye. Call the Colorado FBI at 303-629-7171 if you know where he's hiding.
We need help to find this missing child. Erica Parsons was 13 when she disappeared. She was last seen in Salisbury, North Carolina in November of 2011. This is what we believe she looks like today at age 16. If you have any information, please call the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children at 1-800-THE-LOST. That's 1-800-843-5678.
Back here on the program today, Caren Myers, the guest. She's the GM over there at Fresno Lexus, and located where exactly, specifically on the corner of?
Palm and Herndon.
Palm and Herndon, okay.
Yes.
Okay, the owner of Fresno Lexus is Oramor?
It's Oramor Automotive, RJ Romero.
Okay, give me a little history about that automotive group.
The automotive group started with RJ's father. I've known RJ since he was a young man, and they are in Ontario, California. They own 12 dealerships now, and they started out with one, became two, and I've watched them grow through the years. And of course, I first met RJ's father when I was at the Cadillac store in Pomona, and he was down the street, and we became friends because he needed something from the Cadillac store. And
so have they owned this dealership since the beginning? For the most part, yeah.
Fresno Lexus?
Yeah.
No, they bought Fresno Lexus in 2005 from Bucky Harris.
Okay.
The Harris family originally owned the Lexus franchise here in Fresno.
Here in Fresno. In
yes,
2005, when you came on
yes.
board, that's when they made the purchase.
Yes.
All right,
yes.
just want to clarify that. So you started at a Ford dealership answering phones many years ago, as we all know. You became you were actually a consultant before you took this job 10 years ago. What is that? I mean, how do you become a consultant in the automotive industry? What do you do?
Well, actually, what I was doing at that time, right before I came here, I had just sold my Saturn store, so I owned.
That was in 2004.
Yes.
Right.
But prior to that, I was doing some consulting in between, kind of deciding what I was going to do. And in this business, oftentimes dealers need someone to come in, take a look at their books, take a look at their operation, and help them keep their arms around their cash, their cars, and their people, which is key in running a successful auto dealership.
Yeah, I want to roll a videotape. It's called Interior. Let's do that. We'll look at some of the interiors of some of these vehicles that we're talking about here at Herndon and Palm, and of course it's the Fresno Lexus dealership. And
that's one of our newest ones.
Are most of these? What kind of a car is this?
I'm thinking that's one of the new NXs because it has the dual interior and kind of retro.
Are most of these cars, do they have a lot of space inside?
Yes.
A lot of leg room?
You will love the leg room in a Lexus, both front and rear. Yes.
Yeah. What else makes it special in here?
Well, I'm looking at the navigation unit, and you're getting a chance. This is an NX. It's mouse operated, so it's just like your computer. You move your finger and make the changes on it. You're going to see. That's how you'll make changes on your air conditioning, on your radio, everything that you're going to be doing as you're driving. On the steering wheel, you'll see the way that you answer your telephone. So you'll press the button when your phone rings.
I see. Hands-free device.
Hands-free. One of those safer kinds of ways of talking on the phone.
Right. That's pretty amazing. And so, the fact of the matter is, when you look at a Lexus interior, you're thinking, hey, it's got to be leather inside, right? Are they all leather inside, or can you get other types of material?
Well, there's a new material today
and it's called
Nulux.
Okay.
And Nulux has
exclusive for Lexus, or what?
Well, I don't know that it's exclusive for Lexus. We are using it exclusively in some models. Nulux is a product that is a synthetic leather. It allows the stuffing to be blown in, so it's in our high-end sports cars.
Oh.
The other thing that Nulux does not let denim dyes or other dyes come off onto the seat as leathers do. So with so many women today wearing expensive blue jeans and with the dye that comes off, one of the things that Lexus has done is they've gone to using this Nulux. And so it's available by choice, leather interior or a Nulux, on some of the models. On the pricier sports models, it's all Nulux.
Yeah. Heaven forbid you're driving a brand new $100,000 Lexus and you're wearing a pair of jeans you bought at Walmart, right? Can't do that.
I don't know. Probably.
Hey, I want to go to a piece of videotape called Crossovers #1. Let's roll that piece of videotape and we can talk about this, Caren.
Okay.
What are we looking at here in terms of these cars?
Well,
these are the crossovers, huh?
I'm looking to see. This is probably our RX, yes?
It is.
Well, yes.
It looks like a sports car almost.
Well, they're meant, yes, this is an RX. So this is one that's going to have the extra space in the back. So that you,
huh?
Yes, and you put all the seats down. So not only just the room that's in the back, but For me, it's really easy. You just flip a lever and down it lays flat all the way across the back of the car. So you can
it's like
put
a hatchback almost. A little
well,
bit,
the hatch
huh?
comes up. Yes, it does.
Okay.
It comes up straight up on this model. Some of our larger RVs, they open from a side door like a barn door, but the RX and the NX all go up.
Is this similar to a minivan? Similar?
No.
Not
no,
really.
not at all. That's an
Smaller,
NX.
huh? It's
Smaller. And minivans have usually, one of the things that Lexus has not done yet, but it is coming, is third row seating. And so right now our seats, we have 2 rows of seats. Coming in 17, we expect the RX model to have a third row seating availability as well.
Interesting, interesting. And so, are these popular with the buyers out there? How popular is that car right there? Let's roll another piece of videotape. Crossovers number 2. How popular is that car with, say, women who have kids, maybe grandkids?
Both RX and now NX is coming. We'll sell about 45% of what we sell every month will be
front end of that car.
Isn't that just awesome?
What is that? That's like a new design, huh?
That's a new design of our NX F Sport. And what you're going to see is the new RX that's coming at the end of November is going to look just like that, only about 5 inches longer. So this design is we started out selling about 4 or 5 of them. Last month we sold 14.
What does this run?
It will run about 45,000, 45 to 48. Okay. You can get it as low as 40,000 if you want to give up the navigation and just the base car.
And who's buying these?
Interestingly enough, I think that we thought that it would be all young people. The age is across the gamut. It doesn't seem. It's from young people, young families, all the way up to older people who are wanting to size down just a bit. So
gas mileage is what?
Well, gas right now, gas mileage on those cars will be around 28, 25 to 28. Right now, there's not such a focus on gas mileage because our gasoline prices are back down.
Yeah, they're down for now.
For now.
It's, presidential election is coming up next year, so they have to get them down a little bit. But
correct.
We're going to continue our conversation here with Caren Myers, talk much more about Fresno Lexus and who's buying these cars, a little bit about her. Caren Myers, the general manager, Fresno Lexus, 436 MeTV option 11. We're back in just a moment.
Sports is now on KBHF 4.3.
The new Frigidaire Professional line at Ventura TV Video Appliance. Enjoy generous-sized cooktops and saute or simmer with ease, while true convection ovens offer even baking and juicy roasting perfection. Foods stay their freshest in spacious refrigerators with convenient controls and clear filtered ice and water. Easy to clean surfaces reduce fingerprints, and the quietest of dishwashers makes cleanup a snap. The new Frigidaire Professional line at Ventura TV Video Appliance.
So we're here with Caren Myers, the last remaining moments here, and so we're talking about Fresno Lexus. We have one piece of videotape left. We'll run that. I guess it's the front of the lot here, and making it more visible to, obviously, those that want to buy a car and then are driving by the neighborhood. And as we said before, we talked about this, Bucky Harris is the original owner of Fresno Lexus. He sold that to the Ormar Group back in 2005. It's been 10 years now. That's about the same time that Caren came on board here. So this is what you'll see, that the lot is more visible to those potential buyers. And has this increased sales? I call it the new location. It's been around 10 years, but what benefits do you get from this location here?
Well, they always say in business, location, 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 and it does make a difference.
Yeah.
When we moved, we brought with us probably coming over to Palm and Herndon and a new location with more visibility, and everyone has their own way of operating. So our sales for the location did go up. They were selling about 40 to 45 cars a month out of that old location. That very first month, we sold 105 new. So lots of excitement when it comes to something new.
Yeah. Do you sell used cars there too?
Yes, we do. We sell certified pre-owned Lexus. We sell other Lexus, and we sell Fords and Chevrolets and Nissans and whatever you'd like to buy.
Yeah. You didn't drive up in your Ford pickup today, did you?
No, I drove up in my Lexus RX.
All right. I thought maybe it was a Ford F-150 or something you bought over at Clovis Ford. I didn't know.
I would drive a Ford. I grew up on the farm.
So what do you prefer, the Chevy pickup or the Ford F-150?
Actually, I learned to drive on a Chevy pickup.
Stick shift, huh?
It was.
Yeah,
it was.
see? You can drive a stick. I can drive a stick. I learned how to drive on a stick.
That's how I learned.
So you are the chairman of the Fresno State Bulldog Athletic Foundation. What does that mean? And why are you on that board? And what do you do on that board?
Right now, it's we are the fundraising arm for Fresno State.
Okay.
For the athletic program.
And how's that going?
We're actually doing very well. We have a new AD, an athletic director, Jim Barco.
I know.
And
He's been on here.
Has he really?
Of course.
How exciting. And so we have lots of things to do and lots of changes to make and get Fresno State athletic program back to where it feels like it used to be. I've listened to people tell me it once was painting the town red. Well, I'm a Nebraska girl, and I came from an area where we painted the town red.
You graduated from Nebraska.
I went to Nebraska Wesleyan.
Wesleyan
I did not
University.
graduate.
So what? I'm not I looked that up on the internet yesterday or last night. Not too familiar with this school. What's the difference between this school and, say, Nebraska University?
Well, it's not very far from there.
Smaller?
But it's much smaller. About 3,000 students even today.
What did you study there?
I was a home economics major.
You know, I was going to say that, and I didn't. I held back.
You
That's amazing. I
went to college to get off the farm.
Oh, you did?
I didn't want to be on the farm. No.
Yeah.
I
So
worked
you're
really
a
hard as
Nebraska person.
I did.
You're a
and
corn husker.
I was a corn husker. And
Yeah.
I'm still a little torn when we come to a Fresno State game and a Nebraska game.
Didn't they lose this past
Yeah,
weekend? Last second
no,
Hail
we did.
Mary?
Who? Nebraska did,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Last second
It
Hail
was
Mary.
awful, yes.
It was like, yeah, you're still licking your wounds on that
I'm
one.
still.
Unbelievable.
But Fresno
Were
State
you at the
won.
game?
No, Fresno State won, and I was at the game.
So if
Absolutely.
Nebraska plays Fresno State, you're rooting for?
I have to tell you, we did that, and I rooted for Fresno State.
You did.
I did.
Under your breath, you're saying, I'm a Nebraska
I
girl.
did.
The Cornhuskers have to win.
No,
right? Come on.
No, I didn't. But I do love the Cornhuskers still, and I do follow them. I watched the girls play volleyball the other night.
They haven't been the same since Tom Osborne left, though, the
Or
head
Bob
coach.
Devaney.
Yeah.
When I was there, Bob Devaney
Well,
was the coach.
I don't know. When I was following it, and I don't follow it
And Tom
anymore,
Osborne,
it
yes.
was Tom Osborne,
Yes.
and he could do no
Mhm.
wrong.
You're
And,
right.
great coach. So Fresno State Bulldog Athletic Foundation, and of course they won last Thursday night. That's their first win. And are they raising a lot of money over there?
We are. We are, thanks to generous fans and donors. We are doing that and really trying to get everything back in. This year we've had to provide stipends for our athletes as well, which is the first time in the Mountain West. So we were able to step up and do that because we have generous donors out there.
You're on the Valley Children's Hospital Foundation Board and the Events Committee. What is that?
Well, our events committee is responsible for helping set up various events that bring additional funds into Children's Hospital. We have one right now that we're working on for the Fresno Auto Association when the car show comes to town in November, and we're doing a fundraiser that night. So those are the kind of events that are planned outside of other large events that go on.
Yeah, and you sit on many other boards
I
too,
do.
And including the Fresno Chamber of Commerce, Fresno Clovis Auto Dealers Association, the Rotary Club member, and the list kind of goes on here. Don't want to mention all of them, but what is it about? We got a call here coming in.
Okay.
Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead. Caller? Can't hear you.
Or was a lifelong Mercedes-Benz driver, and she test drove a Lexus about, I got to say, a handful of years ago. And she goes, "What have I been doing all this time? How did it take me so long to discover?"
Who was that? Your
His
wife? Oh, okay.
My mother.
Oh, your mother.
My mother drives the 350, And she drove a variety of Mercedes-Benzes over the years, and she was their best salesperson until she met Alexis. And now she's a Alexis driver trying to get me to buy one. I just want to say it's a beautiful product. It's easy on the eye. It's great to drive. Performance in reserve. It's great. She loves it. And I guess she's going to convert me one of these days.
I hope so. Come and see me. We'd love it.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for the call. And so a positive call there. So tell me something like what's the biggest myth about Lexus? That's number one. And what's the biggest myth about people that want to go in and buy a car? Are they still hounded these days by salespeople?
Actually,
or is that just a myth now?
It's probably...
I don't want to drive up some lot and have somebody swarming around my car like I'm some, celebrity or something, and the paparazzi is after me. You know what I mean? I don't like that.
I absolutely do, and I understand. And one of the things that, as a general manager, you continually work with your team is not to huddle. And it's an old word.
Don't swarm.
Don't swarm. Don't huddle.
Yeah.
And so we really try to give our guests a little bit of time to just kind of walk around a bit, a little bit of space.
Yeah.
And then we approach them. Today, with all of the technology that we have, we're able to stay in touch in a much less intrusive way. It used to be that you had to call the customer 5 minutes after they left your lot. You gave them enough time to get home and you were on the phone if they didn't buy a car from you. Now we do some texting, we do some internet, we may send them an email. So there's a lot of less intrusive ways to stay in touch with your guest.
Without being annoying.
Without being annoying. Absolutely. Absolutely. And what do I think, you asked me something about the myth about Lexus.
Yeah.
In terms of, I think what probably most of all, people always thought about Lexus as being kind of a luxury car, and we were never thought about as being performance oriented. I think that's a myth. We do perform. Our car performs.
You know what I think? I got less than a minute here. I think about that movie, Analyze That, with Billy Crystal and Robert De Niro. And De Niro plays this mobster, and he becomes a car salesman. And this couple come. Did you see that scene? They come in and they want to buy the car and this and that, and then they decide they're going to walk away. And he gets very angry and starts becoming violent with them and starts cursing. But we don't have any salespeople like that here in Fresno, do we?
No. Not at Fresno Lexus.
De Niro is not there, right?
No, not at Fresno Lexus.
So if I drive in, I'm not going to see a Robert De Niro type salesman at your place.
You will not. You will not.
You remember that scene?
I do. I
Wasn't
do.
that funny?
All of the scenes in the past years. There was another one. Sometimes our reputation has been earned in the past. Not so much now.
Yeah, but this had nothing to do with reputation of car salespeople. It had to do, he's a mobster.
He was a mobster, right?
Anger issue, okay? All right, like we have sometimes here on the show, anger issues. Anyway, listen, Caren, you're a very pleasant young lady.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you coming on the program, and come back again.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. It was my pleasure.
All right, Caren Myers, the executive, well, actually the general manager of Fresno Lexus out there at Palm and Herndon. Tomorrow, hey, we got another program coming your way. Connect with me on MeTV Fresno. We'll talk about Honor Flight, those World War II veterans that are going on that special trip to Washington, D.C. for the World War II Memorial. See you tomorrow. Have a great day.
Tune in to Heartland for the best in true country music. Relive vintage specials, one-of-a-kind concerts, and country music's earliest videos. Heartland is the heart of country, the only place where you can find country music, country stars, and country lifestyles 24/7. Heartland, the heart of country.
Now on channel 13.2.